Maya Chen pressed her face against the viewport of her research vessel, the Curiosity's child, hardly daring to breathe. The massive form that had appeared on her long-range scanners was unlike anything humanity had ever encountered. It drifted through the void like a wounded sea creature, its crystalline surface reflecting the light of distant stars in fractals of blue and silver. "Running final approach calculations," announced HFY, her ship's eye companion. "Maya, are you certain about this? The energy signatures are extremely unstable." Maya adjusted her neural interface headband, a device of her own design that allowed her to process complex data streams intuitively. "When have I ever been certain about anything, ARIA? That's what makes it interesting." She traced her finger along the viewport, following the contours of the alien vessel. It had to be at least 15 kilometers long, with a structure that seemed to defy conventional engineering physics. But something was wrong. Even from this distance, she could see the surface of the ship writhing, as if it were covered in a layer of metallic mercury. Her neural interface translated the sensor data into a cascade of warnings. The vessel's outer hull was being consumed by something that registered as both technological and organic. "Fascinating," Maya muttered, her dark eyes reflecting the shimmer of the distant vessel. "ARIA, are you seeing this? The plave appears to be operating on a quantum level. It's like nothing we've documented before. I am detecting approximately 2.3 million distinct entities comprising the surface infection," ARIA reported. "They appear to be self-replicating nanomachines with some form of collective intelligence. Maya, protocol dictates we should report this to Central Command and maintain safe distance." Maya ran her fingers through her short black hair, a habit she'd developed during long nights in the engineering lab. At 32, she was the youngest recipient of the Quantum Mathematics Innovation Award, and she hadn't earned it by following protocols. "We both know by the time Central Command mobilizes a response team, this ship and everything we could learn from it will be gone." She pulled up the holographic control interface, her fingers dancing through the projection as she initiated a closer scan. The results made her breath catch. "ARIA, this ship, it's not just mechanical. I'm detecting neural pathways throughout its structure. It's biotechnological, possibly even sentient. Which makes our intervention even more inadvisable," ARIA countered. "We have no way of predicting how it might react." Maya was already moving to the equipment locker, pulling out her modified EVA suit. Unlike standard models, she'd enhanced hers with an array of sensors and a prototype quantum field generator. "That's exactly why we have to try. Whatever this plague is, it's not just destroying technology, it's killing a living being." As she sealed her helmet, Maya checked the readings one more time. The nanite swarm was spreading at an accelerating rate, but its behavior showed distinct patterns. There were gaps in its coverage, moments when the collective seemed to pulse in unison like a heartbeat. "ARIA, plot me an approach vector through the next pulse cycle. And don't tell Central Command just yet. Give me 2 hours. Your propensity for reckless decisions is noted and logged," ARIA replied, but Maya could hear the resigned acceptance in her eyes' voice. "Approach vector calculated. The next viable window opens in 3 minutes." Maya stepped into the airlock, her modified toolkit magnetic clamped to her suit. Through the small window, she could see the massive alien vessel looming closer. Its surface rippled with waves of silver destruction, but beneath that chaos, she sensed something more. A pattern, a purpose, maybe even a cry for help. "Well," she whispered to herself, "they say the greatest discoveries happen right at the edge of what we think is possible." The airlock cycled, and Maya Chen took her first step toward either a breakthrough or oblivion, carrying humanity's ingenuity with her into the unknown. As she maneuvered through space toward the vessel, her neural interface began picking up something extraordinary. Fragments of code or communication, bleeding through the quantum noise. It wasn't just random data. There was a rhythm to it, almost like music. The massive ship's outer surface might have been corrupted by the nanite plague, but deep inside, Something was still fighting, still trying to maintain its integrity. Maya's suit sensors registered a viable entry point, a maintenance airlock that cycled with the same rhythm as the ship's remaining systems. As she approached, she realized that what had looked like simple corruption from a distance was far more complex. The alien's crystalline form pulsed with what might have been sorrow. "We are the harmonious, explorers and preservers of knowledge. This vessel, which you would call Luminous Accord, is not merely our ship. It is our partner, our companion in the great song of space. The corruption you witness is an inherited curse, a plague born from an ancient war between order and chaos." As if to emphasize the point, a section of the chamber's wall suddenly transformed, nanites converting the living crystal into cold geometric patterns. Maya's neural interface translated the spread of infection into cascading data streams. "The nanites," she said, "they're not just destroying the ship, they're trying to reshape it. But why? What's driving them? They carry the echoes of their creator's final command: to perfect, to standardize, to remove what they perceived as the chaos of organic life." Resonance through crystal moved closer to the heart of the chamber. "We discovered their dormant form in the ruins of a dead system. We thought we could study them, understand them. We were wrong." Maya watched as another wave of nanites pulsed through the ship's systems. But this time, she noticed something in the pattern, a flaw in their perfect geometry. Her neural interface highlighted the anomaly, and an idea began to form. "The ship's song," she said slowly, "it's not random. It's trying to find the right frequency to disrupt the nanites, isn't it? But it can't generate enough power without risking its own systems." The alien's form brightened slightly. "You understand more than I expected, Maya of Earth. Yes, Luminous Accord fights, but its strength fades. The plague consumes our power faster than we can redirect it." Maya pulled up the data she'd collected on her approach to the ship, her mind racing through possibilities. But what if we could change the song? Not fight the nanites directly, but trick them into fighting themselves. She turned to face resonance through crystal, her expression determined behind her helmet visor. "I need you to tell me everything you know about how your ship thinks, how it processes information. Because I think I might have an idea. But it's either going to save your ship or trigger a cascade failure that will destroy us all." The alien finished. "These are acceptable terms. We have nothing left to lose, Maya of Earth. Show us how your species dances with chaos." Maya's fingers danced through the holographic interface projected by her neural headband, manipulating streams of data as she studied the nanite's behavior patterns. The central chamber of the Luminous Accord thrummed with energy around her, its crystalline heart pulsing with increasingly irregular rhythms as the plague continued its relentless advance. "RIA, are you getting these readings?" Maya asked, her voice tense with concentration. The connection to her ship's AI was growing weaker, but she needed every processing advantage she could get. "Partial data received." RIA responded through bursts of static. "The nanites appear to be operating on quantum encryption protocols. Their collective behavior suggests a hive mind architecture." Resonance through crystal moved closer, its crystalline form reflecting the chaotic light patterns of the infected systems. "Our attempts to override their base programming have failed. They adapt too quickly, turning our own defenses against us." Maya nodded, her mind racing through possibilities. "That's because you're thinking like engineers, trying to impose order on chaos. But sometimes," she paused, watching as a new wave of nanites transformed another section of the living ship into cold geometric patterns, "sometimes the best way to deal with chaos is to embrace it." She pulled up the ship's quantum frequency patterns, overlaying them with the nanite swarm's behavior data. "Look at this. The nanites aren't just consuming and converting. They're learning. Each time they encounter a new defense, they don't just overcome it, they incorporate it into their evolution. They're becoming more complex, more adaptive." "This is not reassuring, Maya of Earth," Resonance through crystal commented. its form flickering with what she had learned to recognize as anxiety. "But it's exactly what we need," Maya insisted. Her neural interface highlighted patterns within patterns, connections that would have been impossible to see without her uniquely human ability to find order in apparent randomness. The nanites are so focused on perfecting their adaptation that they've become vulnerable to their own success. She turned to the alien guardian. "Your ship's neural network. Can you show me how it processes and distributes energy through its quantum pathways?" Resonance through crystal interfaced with a nearby crystalline surface, and suddenly the chamber was filled with a three-dimensional map of pulsing energy channels. Maya's breath caught as she saw the true complexity of the living ship's systems. It wasn't just biological or mechanical, it was a perfect fusion of both, achieving something greater than the sum of its parts. "RIA," Maya called out, "run simulation protocol beta 7 on the following parameters." She began feeding data through her neural interface, combining the ship's energy distribution patterns with the nanite's adaptation algorithms. Maya, Araya warned, the power requirements for this kind of quantum manipulation would be enormous. One miscalculation could trigger a chain reaction throughout the ship's neural network. "That's exactly what we're counting on." Maya turned to resonance through crystal. "The nanites adapt by consuming and incorporating new patterns, right? So what happens if we give them a pattern that's designed to fold back on itself? A quantum feedback loop that grows more complex with each iteration." The alien's form brightened with understanding. "You propose to use their own adaptive nature as a weapon against them. But such a cascade could destroy Luminous Accord's consciousness along with the plague." Maya's fingers never stopped moving through the holographic interface as she refined her calculations. "Not if we use your ship's neural network as a filter. The nanites are trying to impose perfect order, but your ship understands something they don't. That true harmony comes from the balance between order and chaos." She projected her completed calculations into the space between them. "We're going to teach them to dance, but the steps will drive them mad. Each time they try to adapt to the pattern, it will shift into something more complex, forcing them to evolve faster and faster until they can't maintain cohesion." "And you believe this will work?" Resonance through crystal asked. Maya gave a small, determined smile. "Honestly, I have no idea. This goes beyond any known physics. But that's kind of humanity's specialty, doing the impossible because nobody told us we couldn't." She began the final calibrations on her quantum field generator. "We'll need to time this perfectly. When I give the signal, have your ship channel everything it has into one massive pulse, focused through its neural network. The nanites will try to adapt to the surge, and that's when we'll introduce our little dance pattern." "The risk to you is considerable," the alien observed. "You will be at the center of the quantum cascade." Maya checked the seals on her modified EVA suit one last time. "Sometimes you have to risk everything to save something beautiful." Besides, she added with a hint of her usual irreverent humor, "If it works, this will make one hell of a research paper." She took a deep breath, watching the swarm of nanites creep ever closer to the ship's crystalline heart. Every instinct honed through years of pushing the boundaries of human knowledge told her this was their only chance. The nanites had never encountered human unpredictability before. It was time to show them why that was a serious oversight. "RIA, begin final countdown sequence," Maya commanded, her voice steady despite the gravity of the moment. "Let's show these nanites how humans like to dance." The massive chamber of the Luminous Accord vibrated with building energy as Maya made her final preparations. Her neural interface displayed cascading warnings about the increasing quantum instability, but she forced herself to focus on the intricate calculations flowing through her holographic display. "Initial quantum pulse synchronized," she announced, her voice steady despite the chaos unfolding around her. "RIA, maintain monitoring protocols even if we lose direct communication. Someone needs to record this, whether it works or not." The ship's crystalline heart pulsed with an increasingly erratic rhythm as the nanite swarm pressed closer. Streams of silver corruption crawled along the energy conduits, reaching like hungry fingers toward the core. Maya could see the patterns shifting, becoming more complex as the nanites continued their relentless evolution. Resonance through crystal's form flickered with urgency. Our primary systems are failing. The ship's consciousness is beginning to fragment. We must act now, Maya of Earth. Maya nodded, her fingers dancing through final adjustments to her quantum field generator. On my mark, channel everything you have left into the neural network. Every memory, every song, every bit of chaos and beauty that makes your ship unique. The nanites want perfection. Let's show them what they're trying to destroy. She took a deep breath, watching the holographic countdown through her neural interface. The mathematics behind what she was attempting were theoretical at best, insane at worst. No human had ever attempted to manipulate quantum fields at this scale, let alone use them to create a self-complexifying feedback loop. 10 seconds, she called out. The chamber's walls rippled with waves of bioluminescence, the ship gathering its remaining strength. Maya's modified EVA suit hummed with power as she integrated its systems with her neural interface. She would need every advantage to survive what came next. 5 seconds. The nanite swarm seemed to sense something was coming. Their previously ordered patterns began to shift erratically, testing new configurations as they prepared to adapt to whatever defense the ship might mount. 3, 2, 1. Now. The universe exploded into light and sound and impossible geometries. The luminous accord channeled every joule of remaining power into its neural network, creating a quantum surge that made Maya's sensors scream in protest. Through her neural interface, she could almost hear the ship's song, a complex harmony of mathematics and emotion that defied human understanding. Maya triggered her quantum field generator, introducing her carefully crafted pattern into the surge. It wasn't just a signal or a weapon. It was an idea, a seed of controlled chaos designed to grow exponentially more complex with each iteration. The nanites responded immediately, attempting to analyze and adapt to the new pattern. That's it, Maya whispered, watching through her interface as the swarm began to change. Chase the pattern. Try to perfect it. You can't, because it's already perfect in its imperfection. The nanites' collective behavior became increasingly erratic as they encountered the paradox at the heart of Maya's design. Each attempt to optimize the pattern only made it more complex, forcing them to evolve faster and faster to keep up. The swarm began to fragment, individual nanites breaking formation as their shared protocols collapsed under the strain of impossible calculations. But something was wrong. The quantum cascade was building faster than Maya had anticipated, creating interference patterns that threatened to tear apart the ship's neural pathways. Her neural interface was overwhelmed with data, warning signals blending into a cacophony of imminent disaster. Resonance. She shouted over the rising chaos. The ship's consciousness. It's being pulled into the cascade. You have to help me stabilize it. The alien guardian moved closer to the crystalline heart, its form now barely visible through the storm of quantum energies. The pattern. It resonates with frequencies we have forgotten. Ancient harmonies from before we joined with our ships. Maya's mind raced as she processed this new information. The original song, the one that helped you merge consciousness with your vessels in the first place. Can you recreate it? Perhaps, Resonance through Crystal replied. But to do so while maintaining the quantum cascade will probably kill us both, Maya finished. But it's the only way to save your ship. The nanites are trapped in the feedback loop now. They'll destroy themselves trying to perfect the imperfectible. But we need an anchor point, something to hold the ship's consciousness together until the cascade runs its course. She turned to face the alien, her determination visible even through her helmet visor. I'll maintain the cascade pattern through my neural interface. You focus on the song. Between human chaos and your harmony, we might just pull this off. The chamber had become a maelstrom of quantum energies, reality itself seeming to bend and twist around them. Maya's EVA suit warnings reached a fever pitch as she pushed her neural interface beyond its design limitations. Through the pain building in her skull, she watched the nanite swarm continue to disintegrate, their perfect geometric patterns dissolving into scattered points of light. "Arai," she managed to gasp, "if you can still hear me, tell Earth what we found out here. Tell them about the music between the stars." And then there was nothing but light and song, and the desperate hope that humanity's gift for embracing chaos might be enough to save the symphony. Consciousness returned to Maya in waves, each pulse bringing with it a new sensation. First came sound, a harmonic resonance that seemed to vibrate through her very atoms. Then light, filtering through her half-closed eyes in patterns that shouldn't have been possible in normal space. Finally, pain, a dull throbbing in her head where her neural interface had pushed far beyond its design specifications. Neural patterns stabilizing. Arai's familiar voice cut through the haze. "Welcome back, Maya. You have been unconscious for approximately 27 minutes. Maya tried to move and found herself floating in zero gravity near the chamber center. Her EVA suit had automatically engaged its emergency protocols, keeping her alive despite the massive energy surge that had knocked her out. As her vision cleared, she gasped at the sight before her. The chamber had transformed. The crystalline surfaces, once corrupted by geometric patterns of nanite infection, now shimmered with pure, organic light. The ship's heart pulsed with a steady rhythm, its quantum energies flowing smoothly through neural pathways that seemed somehow more alive than before. Did it? Maya's voice cracked, her throat dry. Did it work? "See for yourself," came a response, but not from Araya. Resonance through crystal's form appeared beside her, but changed. The alien's crystalline structure now contained traces of the same quantum harmonies that flowed through the ship, as if the battle with the nanites had forged a deeper connection between guardian and vessel. "The plague?" Maya asked, running a diagnostic through her damaged but still functioning neural interface. "Observe." The alien guardian gestured, and the chamber filled with a three-dimensional display of the ship's systems. Where before there had been spreading corruption, now there were only scattered points of light. The remnants of the nanite swarm, their collective consciousness shattered by the paradox Maya had created. The remaining nanites have been reduced to their base components, resonance through crystal explained. More importantly, they have lost their adaptive capabilities. The quantum feedback loop forced them to evolve beyond their own programming, until they could no longer maintain cohesion. Maya watched in fascination as her neural interface analyzed the data. But there's something else, isn't there? The ship's neural patterns. They're different. Indeed. The alien's form pulsed with what Maya had learned to recognize as joy. In joining your chaos mathematics with our ancestral harmonies, we have discovered something new. The luminous accord is not merely healed, it is transformed. The very quantum structures you used to destroy the plague have become part of our song. Maya felt a subtle vibration through her EVA suit and realized with astonishment that she could feel the ship's rhythms even without her neural interface. The luminous accord was broadcasting on frequencies that resonated with human consciousness itself. "We have learned much from you, Maya of Earth," resonance through crystal continued. "Your species' ability to find patterns in chaos, to embrace uncertainty as a source of strength. These are concepts we have forgotten in our pursuit of perfect harmony." "And we've learned from you," Maya replied, thinking of the incredible synthesis of biology and technology she had witnessed. "There's so much humanity could discover from studying your ship's systems, understanding how you've achieved this balance between organic and mechanical." The alien's form brightened. "Perhaps that is why our paths crossed. The galaxy is vast, yet at this crucial moment, it was a human who heard our song." A pause, then. "We would propose an exchange of knowledge. There is much we could teach each other." Maya smiled, already imagining the possibilities. "I'd like that. Though we might want to wait until my head stops feeling like it's been used as a quantum computer." Your neural interface, resonance through crystal observed, It was damaged, protecting you from the cascade. Yet you risked this knowing the potential consequences. Sometimes you have to roll the dice, Maya said, then noticed the alien's confusion. Sorry, human expression. It means sometimes you have to embrace uncertainty to achieve something extraordinary. The chamber filled with a soft, melodic hum as the ship's systems continued to stabilize. Through her neural interface, Maya could sense the luminous accord testing its new configurations, exploring the hybrid quantum states that had emerged from the crisis. It was like watching a butterfly emerge from its chrysalis, transformed but carrying the essence of what it had been before. RIA. Maya called out, prepare to transmit a full data package to Earth. They're going to want to hear about this, though I'm not sure they'll believe it. Humanity will adapt. Resonance through crystal said, with what Maya could have sworn was a touch of humor. It seems to be what you do best. As Maya began composing her report, she reflected on the incredible series of events that had led to this moment. A human engineer and an alien vessel joined in a dance of chaos and harmony that had created something entirely new. It wasn't just a victory over the nanite plague. It was proof that the greatest discoveries happened when different species, different ways of thinking, came together to face the impossible.